The Netherlands has made a bold move that has taken the world by surprise, particularly the United States and even the European Union. This decision, which centers around the semiconductor industry, underscores the growing tensions in global trade and technology. The Dutch government's recent policy shift regarding ASML, a leading chip-making equipment manufacturer, signals a deeper assertion of sovereignty and strategic autonomy. By reclaiming control over the export of certain advanced lithography machines, the Netherlands has taken a stand in an ongoing battle between global powers, particularly the US and China, where semiconductors have become the focal point of economic and geopolitical struggles. ASML, headquartered in the Netherlands, is the only company in the world that manufactures extreme ultraviolet EUV lithography machines, which are essential for producing the most advanced semiconductor chips. These chips are fundamental to a wide range of industries, from consumer electronics to artificial intelligence and military technology. Recognizing the strategic importance of this equipment, the Dutch government has tightened regulations on its export, ensuring that the final decision on sales remains within its jurisdiction. This move directly challenges the US's attempts to exert influence over SAM's export policies, particularly in restricting shipments to China. The semiconductor industry has long been at the center of international power struggles. The United States has sought to maintain its dominance in the field by controlling access to cutting-edge technology. Over the past few years, Washington has imposed stringent export controls to prevent China from acquiring the latest semiconductor manufacturing equipment. These restrictions have had a profound impact on Chinese tech giants, limiting their ability to produce advanced chips necessary for artificial intelligence, 5G networks, and high-performance computing. The Netherlands' decision to take back control over these exports represents a strategic pivot, signaling that it is unwilling to act merely as a proxy for U.S. interests. The implications of this decision are far-reaching. For one, it challenges the traditional power dynamics within the European Union. While many European nations often align with U.S. policy on technology exports, the Netherlands' move suggests a shift toward a more independent approach. This could inspire other European countries to reconsider their stance on trade restrictions and diplomatic alignments. Additionally, this decision could have significant economic ramifications, as China remains a crucial market for ASML and other European technology firms. For ASML, the new regulations may alter its long-term business strategy. While the company has downplayed the immediate impact of these restrictions, stating that they fall within its projected financial outlook, the reality is that tighter export controls could limit its growth in key markets. The company has historically benefited from strong demand for its equipment, driven by the rapid expansion of the semiconductor industry. However, if geopolitical tensions continue to escalate, ASML may have to navigate an increasingly complex regulatory environment, balancing national security concerns with economic interests. China, on the other hand, has been aggressively pursuing self-sufficiency in semiconductor manufacturing. Faced with mounting export restrictions from Western nations, China has invested heavily in developing its domestic chip-making capabilities. The Chinese government has allocated billions of dollars to boost its semiconductor sector, aiming to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers. While these efforts have yielded progress, China still lags behind in producing the most advanced chips, primarily due to the lack of access to EUV lithography technology. The Netherlands' decision to reassert control over SAM's exports may further accelerate China's push for technological independence. The United States is likely to respond to this move with a mix of diplomatic and economic strategies. Washington has consistently pressured its allies to align with its policies on technology restrictions, particularly concerning China. The U.S. may attempt to negotiate with the Netherlands to ensure that restrictions on SAM's equipment remain in place. Alternatively, the U.S. could impose secondary sanctions or other trade measures to dissuade companies from engaging with China. However, such actions could strain diplomatic relations and create friction within international alliances. Beyond the immediate economic and geopolitical consequences, this decision also highlights the broader shifts occurring in global trade and technology policy. The semiconductor industry has become a critical battleground, with nations recognizing the strategic importance of controlling chip production and supply chains. Governments are increasingly viewing technology not just as an economic asset, but as a national security imperative. This has led to a wave of protectionist policies, export restrictions, and government interventions aimed at safeguarding technological advantages. The Netherlands' move raises important questions about the future of global technology governance. As more countries assert control over critical industries, the world may see a fragmentation of supply chains, with different regions developing parallel technology ecosystems. This could lead to inefficiencies, increase costs, and slower innovation. On the other hand, it could also foster resilience by encouraging diversification and reducing over-reliance on any single country or company. In the broader context of international trade, this development reflects the shifting balance of power. For decades, globalization has driven economic interdependence, with companies operating across borders and supply chains spanning multiple continents. However, rising geopolitical tensions and concerns over national security have prompted many governments to rethink their approach to trade and technology. The Netherlands' decision to reclaim control over semiconductor exports is part of this larger trend, where national interests are taking precedence over traditional free market principles. The impact on the European Union is another critical aspect of this situation. The EU has struggled to develop a unified approach to semiconductor policy, often caught between competing interests. Some member states advocate for closer ties with the US, while others emphasize the need for strategic autonomy. The Netherlands' move could push the EU toward a more independent stance, encouraging greater investment in domestic semiconductor capabilities and reducing reliance on external partners. This could lead to new initiatives aimed at strengthening Europe's position in the global tech industry. One of the most significant long-term consequences of this decision is its potential effect on innovation. The semiconductor industry thrives on collaboration, with companies and researchers from different countries contributing to advancements in chip technology. If geopolitical tensions continue to drive trade restrictions and export controls, the free flow of knowledge and technology could be hindered. This could slow down the pace of technological progress, making it more difficult to achieve breakthroughs in areas like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and next-generation communication networks. At the same time, the increasing competition in the semiconductor industry could also spur new innovation. As China accelerates its efforts to develop domestic chip-making capabilities, it may invest in alternative technologies that challenge existing methods. Similarly, European and American companies may explore new approaches to semiconductor manufacturing that reduce dependence on specific suppliers. This dynamic could lead to the emergence of new players in the industry, reshaping the competitive landscape. The Netherlands' bold move also has significant implications for the broader security landscape. The ability to produce advanced semiconductors is not just an economic issue, it is a matter of national security. Military applications, intelligence operations, and critical infrastructure all rely on high-performance chips. By asserting control over semiconductor exports, the Netherlands is taking a strategic step to safeguard its technological assets while also signaling its position in the global power structure. This move may prompt other nations to reassess their policies on technology exports and national security. Looking ahead, the world is likely to witness further developments in this ongoing saga. The US will continue to push for stricter controls on semiconductor exports, while China will double down on its efforts to achieve self-sufficiency. The Netherlands, along with other European nations, will have to navigate the delicate balance between economic interests and geopolitical pressures. The future of the semiconductor industry will be shaped by these competing forces, with lasting consequences for global technology, trade, and security. Netherlands' decision to reclaim control over semiconductor exports is a landmark moment in international trade and technology policy. It reflects the shifting dynamics of global power, the growing importance of national security and economic decision-making, and the increasing competition in the semiconductor industry. While this move has surprised many, it is part of a broader trend where countries are reasserting control over critical industries. As the world adapts to these changes, the semiconductor sector will remain at the heart of geopolitical rivalries, shaping the future of technology and international relations.